Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new and you're stopping by for the first time, welcome. My name is Melissa. I have 2 kiddos and 1 on the way. I am currently 29 weeks pregnant and I love to do all things crafty on a budget, especially Dollar Tree DIYs, trash to treasures, farmhouse decor, and so much more. So if that's something you're interested in, I would love it if you would stick around by clicking the red subscribe button and then tapping the bell and all to be notified every single time I upload. Also, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Those thumbs up really help my channel to grow and help YouTube just to notice me just a bit more. And also, don't forget to leave a comment down below which project was your favorite and if you guys will be trying these DIYs out. So for today, I have some trash to treasure. My husband was throwing this wood away and I knew that I could do something with it. So with all that being said, let's jump right into today's DIYs.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I want.
To start off, I have this piece of wood. It is 6.5 inches by 22 inches, and I start off by just sanding the edges down, and then I take my white Waverly chalk paint and my favorite brush. This brush is always linked down in my Amazon favorites. It cuts your painting time probably in half, if not more, and you get a really nice smooth coat. So that's why I always like to recommend these brushes. But I just go ahead and paint around all the sides and then the front, and I do not worry about giving it a good coat because I do want that natural wood shining through just a bit, as if you were to distress it, but basically you just don't have to do any work. Next, I pull out all the shapes that I have, all the wooden shapes that I have, and I have 2 stars, a anchor, a heart, a duck. The flower I did not end up using because I did not like it, and I just take some spiced carrot orange and I start by painting the duck's beak, or actually this is a chick, the beak and the feet. I then take this yellow from Waverly chalk paint and I go ahead and give that chick a nice coat of this yellow. I did want to mention for the beak and the feet, I did just go right where the beak and the feet are, leaving the rest of the body. That way I can paint it yellow and I won't have to go over it too many times. After I have the chick painted yellow, I then just go ahead and take a very tiny brush and I make a little eye. I'm not too sure if I'm crazy about this eye. I feel like I should have just left it plain, but if you do recreate this project, that is totally up to you. So after I put a little eye, I did go ahead and make kind of a little wing. I thought that it was just missing something, and then I realized that there was no wing, so I did go ahead and lightly paint that on. So I put the duck aside and then I work on this heart. Now this one's for Valentine's Day. I just painted it with crimson red and Waverly, and then while the paint is still wet, I take some ballet slipper in Waverly chalk paint and I just kind of give that heart a few highlights just to kind of create a more realistic look instead of just a flat red. After I do the highlighting, I set that aside and I take some of this ocean blue Waverly, I believe this is acrylic paint, and I do give the anchor a good coat all around the sides and the front. If I don't think that I have a chalk paint in this color, which is why I use this acrylic paint, but if you do have chalk paint in this navy blue, then feel free to use whatever you like. After I have the anchor painted, I set that one aside, and now we're going to work on the star for the 4th of July and Memorial Day. I wanted it to look like a flag, so I did just take a ruler. I sectioned off a piece that will be the blue star with the blue part with the stars, and then I just take my ruler, I measure out I believe it's 1/2 of an inch, and I make marks all the way down the middle of the star. And then once I have my marks made, I go back and I just take the ruler and I make the lines so that they're nice and crisp and straight. And then once I have all my lines laid out, I did this just so that way when I painted it, it would be much more uniform. But once it is laid out and drawn on, I then take that same crimson red from Waverly chalk paint, and I do every other stripe red, starting with the red at the top. And then after I do the red, I do the white. I use a very, very tiny brush. That way I can get right up against those lines and they are nice and clean without running into the next section. After I do the white, I then just take that same ocean blue and I paint over the blue part of the American flag. I am so sorry about that noise in the background, you guys. I just realized that my air was running and I just went ahead and kicked it off because I'm sure that that noise is annoying. But anyway, I did want to mention real quick that if you're new here, I did open up a P.O. box. Some of my subscribers had asked to send me something or send the baby something, and I really appreciate it, but you don't have to do that. I would just love to get a letter or anything like that. So check the description box and the information is down below. Next, I take this circle wooden ornament and I just give it a good coat of Waverly chalk paint, white. While that is drying, I take some matte Mod Podge and a brush and I go ahead and give this star a really, really, really good coat of Mod Podge. And then I have some glitter left over from a previous project. It is gold and an iridescent chunky glitter mixed, and I just pour that right on top of the star. And then once I have it evenly over the star, I just shake the excess off and then put the rest back into the container. So we're going to work back on the star because it's dry now. I take a very, very thin paintbrush and some white Waverly chalk paint, and I just start right at the top and I go straight down with stars. There's really no rhyme or reason or technique to do this. I just kind of made simple stars going all the way down, and then I did them all the way across in the same lines. They're not perfect, but I was not looking for perfection here, and I think it turned out great. So for the white one, I did go ahead and just draw a simple pumpkin. If you aren't a drawer, which I don't think I am, it was pretty easy just to sketch one on real quick. Go right on Google, print out one you like, and then you can either Mod Podge that picture on or trace it and then go over it. But I do use this moss color because I usually do neutral colors for my fall decor, and I just go I trace the pumpkin with the paint, and then I take some hazelnut brown, do the stem as well as the little curly Q. I don't know what you want to call it. If you know, let me know in the comments down below what that curly part is. And then I take that same hazelnut. You can't really see it in this video. I wish I would have gotten a better picture of it because I really love the way it turned out, or added some white so that way you could kind of see what I'm doing. But I did do some outlining and shading with that same harvest color. I think, or not harvest color, I don't know what I'm saying, you guys. The hazelnut. I think that it gives it really good contrast, and it just makes it pop in person, but again, you can't really see it on video. And then I just free-handed the word fall on there. I don't really like my handwriting, so I wish I would have printed it and then drew it on there. But you can let me know what you think down below if you like the way that I did that. I made 2 simple bows, one red buffalo check, one black and white. I glued the black and white on the heart and then the red and white onto the star. The star is for Christmas and New Year's. I did not have any trees out. I put all my Christmas decor away. That's why I had to kind of improvise for Christmas and Thanksgiving and fall, but that's okay. I like the way it turned out. Next, I just take my chip brushes and I just give all but one of them some black dry brushing all the way around the edges. I think that by doing this, it just makes whatever project you're doing pop, and it just makes it look more store-bought and finished, if that makes any sense. So after I do the heart, the chick, the fall, I go ahead and do the American flag, and then the only one that I did not do was the one for Christmas, and I take some white for the anchor because I wanted it to pop on here, and I knew that white would look much better than the black. But again, if you recreate this, then you can do whatever tickles your fancy. So I got most of these shapes from Dollar Tree. The only ones that I did not were the circles, and I've had them for a long time. I got them from Walmart. Next, I just take some jute twine and I just do one wrap around the top of the anchor, if that makes sense. I was going to try to do more, but once I did just one layer, I thought that it looked really good, so I left it at that, and then I did both sides of the bottom of the anchor. So I just started by putting a dab of hot glue behind, and then sticking the twine to it, and then wrapping it around once, cutting it, putting a little bit more glue onto the piece of twine that was already there, and then glue that down. Be careful, don't burn yourself, because I did a few times. Next, I just went onto the computer. I printed off HME, and then with my graphite paper, which is always linked down below, I trace that each letter on. And then this is a new paint pen. It was a Sharpie, and I really love it, you guys. I got it from Walmart. It does a really nice job. I then just take some Velcro circles. I don't know exactly what they're called, but I then just Velcro them onto the back of these shapes. I started with the anchor because I knew that the anchor would be the trickiest to try to line up the dots to, so that way you can't see it. And then I just put the one side on the back of the anchor, and then use the other side of the Velcros for the rest of the shapes. And that is it for that one, you guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. For this project, this was another scrap piece of wood, and my husband bought me this saw, but he wouldn't let me use it because I'm pregnant, and I told him that I'm pregnant, I'm not crippled. So I just put in a clip that if you don't have a handy, sweet husband like mine, you can go right to Home Depot and have them cut it down for you. So I start with 2 pieces, and I put 2 cups on one piece, and then put the next piece down. These are also 6.5 by 22, and it's 3 pieces. So I put the cups there so it could be even, and then I took my square dowels, and I wanted the crosses on the sides. I got this inspiration offline. This was like a $90 shelf, and I knew that I could recreate it for much less. I probably spent like $5 on this because I'm not really counting the wood. My husband had it. He was going to throw it away, so I did not count that. So I just hold the dowels up on an angle. I trace with my pencil where it needs cut. I cut it, and then I cut 4 pieces use my wood glue and hot glue to glue them down. And then I take another piece and I mark where it needs cut. I don't know if that really makes sense what I'm trying to say, you guys. It's kind of hard to explain, but that's why I can definitely show you better than I can tell you. So once I did the sides, I then just go ahead with the second row, layer, whatever you want to call it, and I did the exact same thing for this layer that I did for the last layer. I'm sorry that this is at such a weird angle and my arms keep getting in the way. I was like mortified while I'm editing this video, but there's not much I can do about it now. The workspace that I have, you guys would not have been able to see what I was doing, so I did just take it to the kitchen, and then that was the moment of truth when I moved the cups to see if it would stay together, and it did, and I was so happy. I then take my favorite stain, Jacobean, and I go ahead. I started with this chip brush that I got from Amazon. I hated them. They were like too flimsy. I don't know. So I did go back to my trusty paper towel and I stained the entire thing. I then went back in with some white Waverly chalk paint, and again I was trying to use a different size of these chip brushes, and I hated them. They're going back. So I did go back to my small little chip brush that I get from Walmart, and I did go ahead and do the sides as well as all the way around the edges. The sides, I went really heavy with the white. I wanted the sides to pop out more than the shelf pieces, but I did just dry brush all the way around the shelf pieces and then directly on top. And that is it for this shelf, you guys. I am so in love with this shelf. I love the way that it turned out, and really I just used scrap wood like I said, and I had the dowels, but I did just kind of work that into the price. The square dowels are always linked down below. If you guys cannot cut, go to your local Home Depot. They are usually pretty good and will help you, and if you buy the wood, you can have them cut it. I definitely was not paying $90 for this. Also, if you want to hang it on the wall, I meant to film putting sawtooth hangers on the back, but just put 2 or 3 across the top, and it'll hang really beautifully. Again, you guys, it's late. I'm so sorry. This pregnant mama is worn out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below which project was your favorite. And I am so grateful to each and every one of you. I did just want to add a little clip of my girl. She is so active, especially at night. And if I put the remote on my belly, it's like she's trying to kick it off. And this is my favorite part of pregnancy, you guys. So anyway, I'm just gonna let these couple little clips play. I hope you guys will come back and see me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
Watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breath.